All right. Shalom, Akim. Top lesson. Just want to give all praise and all glory to Yahweh by Shem Shai by Shem Bash. Everyone that's our apostles out of the great millstone that taught us his truth. Peace and blessings and sincere. Akim, expression of his truth and our truth and sincerity around the four corners of the earth there to lead to our true Shalom. Okay, I'm the brother Ura Araya from the great millstone Miami camp. Come back to the spirit power and spirit power of Yahweh by Shem Shai. Gonna make another lesson. Okay, and this lesson was inspired by, it was at camp earlier today, going into the downfall of Esau, how Esau being exposed. All right, and upon Esau being exposed, is Esau, your kingdom is coming down, and you are going into captivity. All right, and and the scriptures speak about, you going into captivity, and that you were going to rule for, for a season. All right, you are not meant to put on this earth to, to rule forever. It was meant for Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai, and 144 to rule. All right, you just here, okay, for a moment, because you understand the Lord set you up, and the Lord's gonna be the same power to take you out, man. Okay, you thinking that you did just of your own might. Look at these presidents, thinking that, oh, it's just America and I'm this, I'm that, that prideful spirit. All right, these things, okay, we understand that these things that that Esau thinks that, oh yeah, it's just because of himself. It's not what it is, man. All right, the Lord set you up, and the Lord's gonna take you out. And when He takes you out, you are going into captivity, man. You are gonna, go through the bondage that we went through, but even worse. Because y'all gonna be in captivity for 1,000 years, then get taken off the face of the earth, and that's righteous, man. Because nobody wants this cancer around anymore. All right, you're the only nation that's gonna have to just get destroyed off the face of the earth completely because of your wickedness. You ultimately, you're not gonna get it. All right, the Lord made you crooked. All right, you wicked. All right, so there's no place for you in the kingdom of heaven. The only place for you in the kingdom of heaven is to be a servant, okay, in captivity, a slave, man. That's what you're gonna be in the kingdom of Yahweh Shai. All right, seeing how this devil acts, was acting towards us. All right, scripture talking about the earth being clean of the blood that sheddeth. All right, so we're gonna have to take this devil out, man. All right, and that's exactly what he's gonna do. All right, seeing the destruction of this place, the downfall of America, is what we're waiting on, man. All right, but within the downfall of America, after the destruction, Esau, you gonna have to do some work to do. All right, you got some building up that you have to do, reconstructing. All right, rebuilding. Okay, this is Revelation 13 and verse 10. But now it says, any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and faith of the saints. That's right, man. Here's the patience and faith of the saints, man, of the Israelites. All right, that's what we're waiting on. That's the patience that we're waiting on for Esau to get eradicated, man. For Esau to get put in the chain, put in the chains, get locked up. All right, that's what we're waiting on. Right now, he in captivity. He in rulership right now, and we just going through our punishment, but our punishment is almost up, man. And you can clearly see it, man. You can clearly see that. We at the end of his world, and end of this world, man. All right. See, this Second Thessalonians 1 verse 6, because Esau, doing, you thinking that, like you thinking that, you gonna create your bunkers, and have all these things so that you can hide from the day of the Lord. It's not gonna work like that, man. All right. We have Second Thessalonians chapter 1 and verse 6, or First Thessalonians. I'm not sure if I can find that. First Thessalonians. Let me see if it's 1 and verse 6. I probably. Thessalonians, grab it. Right. Second Thessalonians chapter 1 and verse 6, and it says, seeing that it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. All right, and and who has troubled us? So-called white man. So us, Slakia. Us, meditating terror on this devil is righteous, man. Don't Esau Edom is us thinking about the kingdom, us thinking about this devil going into captivity is righteous, man. It's not wicked what we're doing. All right? Because understand that this devil, this is this is his end. All right, we are at the end of his kingdom. Okay? And with the end of with the end of his kingdom is the ushering in of the kingdom of Yahweh Shimon Shai with Edomite slaves, man. Edomite servants. That's what the Lord tells us, is gonna be our our redemption from this devil. Not reparations, not asking Esau for for money, because ultimately we don't want your money. Okay, and if the Lord blesses with some shekels to worry about Shimon Shah, but that's not going for forsake the fact that you got to get put in captivity. He done gave all these other nations reparations, the Asians and all these other nations reparations, but couldn't give the nation of Israel reparations, and we don't want your reparations. We don't want your checks. All right, because what to try to put a band-aid on the wound, but you can't, man. The only way for that band-aid to be healed is for you to be in chains. That's the only acceptable form of payment that we taking. You in those chains, you going into captivity, and that's what it's gonna be. All right, it's not gonna be an easy day in the kingdom for Esau. No, because when when it was our turn, you see the movies, the slavery movies of what the devil done did to us, and he's only showing you what he wants you to see. It's probably even more stuff that that we missing out on. All right, continuing on, this is Jeremiah 16 and 16. All right, and and we gonna rule these nations with a rod of iron too, man. Okay, it's not gonna be a rest day, only on the Sabbath, but it's not gonna be an easy day in the kingdom for Esau Edom. It's not gonna be like a chill day for Esau Edom, no. Because right now, what we want, revenge, man, and that's why the scripture says vengeance is of the Lord. Because that's what we waiting on, man. How about Shimon Shai? To recompense for us, to redeem us. Okay, it's Jeremiah chapter 16 and verse 16, and it says, behold, I will send for many fishers, save the Lord. And right now, what we doing? We fishing. Okay, we fishing for the elect. All right, going out in the highways and byways, preaching in and out of season. Okay, save the Lord, and they shall fish them. And after I will send for many hunters, they shall hunt them from every mountain, from every hill, and from out of the holes of the rocks. And that's right, and we're gonna turn into hunters, because Lord gonna give us men spiritual power as well. Okay, we're gonna turn to those hunters to do what? To round up these Edomites, man. These Edomites that think that thought that they were just going to create bunkers and just hide from the day of the Lord. Once you pop your head from them bunkers, chains on your neck, man. Chains. You thinking you're going to have a secret bunker, off the face of the earth, all right, hiding somewhere, okay? But in reality, you know, once that destruction is over, and and you think that you just going to just come back out, no, man. You're gonna be met with angels, man. You're gonna be met with men, all right, spiritual men, okay, and you're gonna be ready for captivity, man. You can't escape the day of the Lord, Esau. Okay, making those bunkers are not gonna help you escape. All right, that's just what it is, man. All right, and I got one more piece. This is Second Ezra 6 2 6 and verse 9, and it says, "For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth." Right, man. And Esau is the end of the world, and you can clearly ask anybody, "Are you at the end of the world?" And yes, you are, man. We are at the end of the world, man. And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, man. Us, man, the Israelites. All right, but starting with the men of the Lord, the elect, okay, are the ones that's gonna really, you know, rule the earth, man, in all truth and sincerity, through the spirit power of Yahweh Shemiah Shai. And that's what we waiting on, man. That gloriful day, man. All right. But AI community, that was the title of this video. The title of this video is going to be, Esau is going into captivity. All right. And that's the only righteous, reparations that we are going to take from this devil, man. Okay. So, Lord, when blessing is edifying, okay, with that, I do want to give our praise and our glory to Yahweh, should be on Shai, should be Kapadash. Double on the South Office and other great millstone that taught us the truth. Peace and blessings to the sincere Akims. Okay, at that, I do want to say, Shalom.